A little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Take a look at where you started from, where you are today. You climbed mountains, swam oceans, you got knocked down and kept going. In the end, you know you got to say a little bit of love goes a pretty long way. All your wounds are healing fine. I'm so glad I got you in my life. Now the winter frost is gone. Now is our chance to live the life we want. A little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Everybody's lost, and that's okay. Some show it, some hide it, but there's a battle we're all fighting. So if you're looking for the words to say, a little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Holding on to the rabbit's feet, walking down the sunny side of the street. Shadows creeping at your back. You can forget I'm like an amnesiac. A little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Love is really like a wonder drug. Let's medicate and say goodbye to the drama. It's a beeline to nirvana. If you're looking for the words to say, a little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. A little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Take a look at where you started from, where you are today. You climbed mountains, swam oceans, you got knocked down and kept going. In the end, you know you got to say a little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. A little bit of love.
Good afternoon and welcome to NATCO Network's 18-day campaign to end violence against women and children podcast. In this empowering series, we aim to shed light on the issue of violence and advocate for a safer world. Join us as we listen to an expert as he discusses about case studies, explore strategies, and raise awareness. Together, let's stand against violence, support survivors, and create a world where women and children can thrive free from fear. Tune in and be part of this change. This is Wia Nangpi, and this is Day 3.
Important disclaimer. This podcast may contain content, language, and discussions that could be unsuitable for certain audiences. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the podcast platform. Parental guidance is recommended. Additionally, please be aware that this episode includes discussions about violence against women. A trigger warning is issued, and we encourage sensitive listeners to exercise caution. Thank you for understanding.
Ngayon, pupunta naman tayo sa gender-based sexual harassment in the workplace. So, for the information of everybody, hindi na to siya bago. Since 1995, meron na tayong Republic Act 7877, yung Anti-Sexual Harassment Law, 1995 pa po yun. Pero noon po, sa Republic Act 7877, ang makapagreklamo lang po ay ang ating women, ang kababaihan. Ang pwede nilang irereklamo ay yung kalalakihan lang din. Pangalawa, generally, yun pong subordinate, irereklamo niya yung superior nila. No? So, sa ngayon, pantay-pantay at patas na. Pwede na magreklamo ang babae against babae, babae against lalaki, lalaki against lalaki, or lalaki against babae, and all our other mga kapatid ng LGBTQIA+. So, ang sinabi dito, ano yung workplace? Dapat ang ating workplace is a safe space for everyone. So anyone that transcends the boundaries of what is acceptable and consented must be reported. So demonstrated sexual harassment. So these are more on acts, no? So nakikita natin ang sabi dito ng batas is an act or series of acts. So pwedeng isang beses lang, an act or series of acts, maraming beses paulit-ulit, involving any unwelcome sexual advances. So unwelcome, no? Minsan mahirap po sabihin kung welcome or unwelcome ang yung mga sexual advances. Kaya sabihin ninyong mag-sign kayo ng no way, or you say I don't like that, or you voice it out, no? Sabihin mo talaga unwelcome kasi baka may mga pilosopo diyan nagsasabi naman na silence means consent o hindi naman nagrereklamo. So baka makakalusot sila dito kapag nasa korte na, no? Requests or demands for sexual favors, no? Sige, ita-transfer kita sa mas magandang location or mas magaan na trabaho or po-promote kita. Basta magwa-white one night stand kayo sa akin. Ganun si boss niya sa secretary niya, or any act of sexual nature. So pwedeng verbally, physically, or use of information technology such as text messaging or emails, or through any other forms of communication and information systems that has or could have a detrimental effect on the conditions of an individual's employment or education, performance, or opportunities. So sexual harassment, no? Harassment by sexual conduct. So yung mga conducts nito of sexual nature and other conduct based on sex affecting the dignity of a person, ayun na naman, unwelcome, unreasonable, and offensive to the recipient. Pwedeng verbally, physically, or through use of technology, as text messaging, email, or other forms of information and communication system. Hostile conduct, harassment by hostile conduct, any conduct that is unwelcome and pervasive and creates an intimidating, hostile, or humiliating environment for the recipient. So sometimes, yun lang mga sad to say, mga kalalakihan din talaga yung mga perpetrators nito na pinapakita na boss sila, tapos maraming mga alalay, sunod-sunuran, at yung mga iba parang pinapahirapan, dinadagdagan ng trabaho, pinapahiya, no? So especially if meron ng parang sexual na overtones, maaring malliable yung perpetrator nito. Sinabi dito sa batas, may note dito, yung mga workplaces daw, kasali lahat ng mga sites, locations, spaces, or where work is being undertaken by an employee within or outside the premises of the usual place of business of the employer. Meron tayong mga kakilala, nagwo-work din sila off-site, no? Whether at home. So kahit nasa bahay ka, pwede naman sa information technology, or yung trabaho natin, yung iba, mga collector na nasa labas ng office premises, at doon sila ini-intimidate either in real world or virtual, pwedeng maging liable yung perpetrator dito. Kasi ang workplace ay kasali na within or outside the premises of the usual business of the employer. Ngayon, ang tanong, is sexual harassment between peers or mas subordinate to a superior not covered under this law? Okay, so pwede bang same rank lang kayo, or ikaw yung mas mababang position at yung superior mo ang nagreklamo? Magiging liable kaya tayo dito sa Republic Act 11313? Yes, napakalaking yes. So nabanggit natin kanina na 1995 pa itong RA 7877, yung Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995, na-recognize na meron talagang sexual harassment sa work, education, and training environments. Pero noon kasi, kailangan na may existence of authority, influence, or moral ascendancy between the offender and offended party. So, mas mataas yung ranggo, mas mataas yung position, or siguro head ng establishment. But ngayon, hindi na kailangan. Ang importante yung may hostile environment. Meron din naman kasi diyang mga pasaway na mga employees na hindi na rin kaya ng boss nila. So, importante dito, meron ding sexual harassment between peers or co-employees or those committed against a superior. Yun ang lower rank ang higher rank na ang nagreklamo sa kanyang subordinate. So, the Safe Spaces Act addresses these gaps by recognizing that sexual harassment can be committed between peers or by a subordinate to a superior officer. So actually, pwede rin ito the other way around, no? Ang babae, lalaki, sabi ko, lalaki against babae, no? And all other sexual orientations, LGBTQIA+ against another LGBTQIA+ na offender. So anong pwedeng gawin ng biktima sa workplace GBSH? Of course, yung administrative complaint, no, sa kanilang CODI, dapat siguro malalaman natin ating opisina, ating establishmento, ating kooperatiba, yung meron bang CODI, itong Committee on Decorum Investigation, at patong-patong pa sa civil case for damages kung maghihingi kayo ng danyos, perwisyos, at yung sinabi natin kaninang criminal case na mayroong imprisonment and fine. So tatlo, no? Sana all na yung kaso nila. Meron ng administrative, merong civil, and criminal complaints before the courts. Okay, to continue, we will discuss now yung employers' duties under the Safe Spaces Act. No? So there are some of the duties na nakasaad sa batas. Of course, information dissemination. No? Sa kooperatiba, we have information, training, and other activities. Dito rin sa mga companies, kailangan nilang i-disseminate or post in a conspicuous place a copy of the law to all persons in the workplace. Mas maganda siguro nito for the new employees, nandoon na sa kanilang company handbook, or for the old employees, mag-issue na lang din sila ng memorandum at bigyan ng isa-isang empleyado nila ng copies nito ng Safe Spaces. Kung ano naman siguro, kung marami naman siya at kung may email address, at least sa email man lang. In any other way that they can disseminate the act, no, for the employees in the workplace. And number 2, to provide measures to prevent gender-based sexual harassment in the workplace, such as the conduct of anti-sexual harassment seminars. And of course, siguro, kapag meron naman tayo mga kilala dyan na mga trainers, whether in NATCO or in other mga cooperatives or federation, meron tayong mga gender sensitivity trainings, yung ating mga gender awareness. So that would help, no, to prevent. Mas maganda talaga yung prevention than to really face the consequence later on, no. Create an independent internal mechanism or a committee on decorum investigation. Ito yung sinasabi nating CODI, to investigate and address complaints on gender-based sexual harassment. Number 4, develop and disseminate in consultation with all persons in the workplace a code of conduct or workplace policy which shall A, expressly reiterate the prohibition on gender-based sexual harassment, B, describe the procedures of the internal mechanism, and C, set administrative penalties. So dapat din daw mag-conduct ng employer ng mga mayroon silang mga penalties, no, pati sa members ng mga CODI na papetiks-petik sila or dinidisregard nila or hindi talaga ginagawa ng kanilang mga functions, or yung sila na mismo yung nagdi-defeat, delay, or distract ng mga complainants, no, against this itong mga suspects or perpetrators ng Republic Act 11313 in the workplace. Ano daw dapat itong mangyari, anong establish ng CODI sa isang kumpanya, no? The CODI to be established by the employer should, dapat nilang gawain, adequately represent the management, the employees from the supervisory rank, the rank and file employees, and the unions or employees association of any. Okay, pag halimbawa ay wala namang union or association, so at least tatlo galing sa management, galing sa supervisory rank and file. Magiging 4 kung meron silang union or employee. Number 2, designate a woman as its head, not less than half of its members should be women. So yung ating example kanina sa number 1, kung walang union or employee, 3. Merong galing sa management, sa supervisory rank and file. At sinabi naman sa number 2, dapat babae yung head ng ating CODI. At not less than half of its members should be women. So, sinabi ba dito na pwedeng all women? Pwede naman siguro. Kasi ang sinabi lang naman is, dapat head ang women, okay, number 1. Number 2, half of its members should be women, so 50%. Kung 3, 2 ng babae. Kung gusto mo pa maging babae yung pangatlo, hindi bawal. Okay, so kung meron naman tayong Union Employees Association, kung naging 4 na sila, so dapat 3 ang babae mo sa 4. Kasi kung 2 lang, hindi siya majority, less than half, no? So yun ang minimum number of employees, no? Number 3, composed of members who should be impartial and not connected or related to the alleged perpetrator. Kamag-anak, tito, ninong-ninang or beshi ng ating perpetrator, dapat mag-inhibit yung member ng CODI. So it would be best if we have 4 or 5 members siguro ng CODI para kung may kamag-anak or kaibigan or related doon sa perpetrator yung para ma-inhibit kasi dapat sila ay maging impartial. Investigate and decide on the complaints within 10 days or less upon receipt thereof. Nako, itong pinakamahirap, I think, no? Dapat within 10 days matapos na niya yung ma-investigate and decide on the complaints. Number 5, due process. Okay, so we know in the Ang Tibay case, hindi naman talaga yung due process na meron talaga tayong formal hearing na katulad sa korte, may direct examination, merong cross-examination, at questions from the court, but yung simple due process siguro, I would suggest yung, let's say, a simple complaint sheet and a simple answer, then maybe later on have their own position paper, pwede na yan, no? Or kung gusto nila magsalita, pwede niyang tanungin. Yun, importante meron lang due process. The right to be heard, the right to present your side, the right to defend yourself. Tanong, attorney, pwede ba kami magdala ng lawyer? Yes, pwede, because that is your right, no? Whether it's a private lawyer, public lawyer, pwede po. Number 6, protect the complainant from retaliation without causing him or her any disadvantage, diminution of benefits, or displacement without compromising his or her security of tenure. Nagreklamo ang secretary sa boss niya at binueltahan ng boss. Pinadagdagan yung trabaho, inassign sa malayo, or tinanggal ng mga ibang mga benepisyo, pinagtatrabaho ng overtime, binibigyan ng overtime, pinagtatrabaho ng 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., wala siyang night differential, pinagtatrabaho ng holiday, walang holiday pay, at kung ano, iba-iba ng mga benepisyo sa kumpanya na hindi binigay, at hinire out or ini-early termination yung contract. Kaya importante na maproteksyonan yung ating biktima. And guarantee gender-sensitive handling of cases and confidentiality to the greatest extent possible. O sino ba dito yung may mga board of directors or yung may mga HR dyan na hindi pa nga natapos yung meeting na ilabas na yung bulong-bulungan? Oy, approve na yung 13 months natin. Oy, si na-suspend or si ganyan, forced to resign. So dapat we have to be gender sensitive and maintain confidentiality. Ano naman yung mga penalties kapag ating mga employers ay hindi sumunod sa batas na to? Fine of not less than 5,000 but not more than 10,000 pesos. Ano ba yung failure to implement duties under the law? Yung kanina sinabi natin, kasali na doon yung information dissemination, pag-post ng batas ng RA 11313, at yung pag-establish ng ating CODI, yung ating Commission on Decorum and Investigation. And kapag hindi inaksyonan ng employer yung mga reported acts of GBSH, mas malaki ang fine, 10,000 pesos but not more than 15,000 pesos. Ngayon, ano naman itong sexual harassment and educational and training institutions? Halos lahat siguro mga 80 or 90% the same lang naman siya dito sa sexual harassment in the workplace. Meron lang konting difference or meron lang konting nadagdag or nabawas kapag ang sexual harassment ngayon ay committed in educational and training institutions. Okay, ano bang duties ng heads natin ng education and training institutions? ETIs ang tawag dito. So yung ating head ng educational and training institutions are also required to disseminate the law. The same lang, no? Disseminate pa rin. Develop din daw yung kanilang code of conduct and update the composition of the CODI. Bakit sabi dito and or update the composition of the CODI? Meron na kaya silang CODI noon pa? Maari, di ba? Kasi kanina we have discussed RA 7877, which is the 1995 Anti-Sexual Harassment Law. Dapat meron Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee ang kada workplace, ang kada educational and training institutions, pero hindi lang na-update siguro kasi baka lahat lalaki or yung head lalaki. Ang sinabi ngayon sa RA 113 dapat babae ang head at more than half or majority are from the women. So i-update na lang nila yung code nila, update siguro nila yung code of conduct, na isali dito yung mga hindi lang yung peer against a superior, but also ito na rin mga other na mga updates ng RA 11313. Note daw that these heads have to harmonize the CODI for their employees and for their students. Same penalties apply pa rin. Yung 10,000, yung 15,000. Meron palang additional duties itong mga heads natin ng ETIs under the Safe Spaces Act. So meron palang OIC, number 1, designate an officer in charge to receive complaints regarding violations of the law and forward them to the CODI. So sa ating Gender and Development Committee, di ba, meron tayong God focal person. So aside from the committee, meron ding tao na pwede nating lapitan or sumbungan or pasahan ng ating mga complaints. Dito rin, meron daw OIC. Number 2, impose administrative disciplinary measures for students who commit acts of GBSH against their fellow students or teachers. O educational and training institution tayo. So meron ding iba pang siguro suspension or censure or expulsion, no? Dito sa mga students na to who commit acts of GBSH against their fellow students or against their teachers. Number 3, if a school knows or reasonably should know about acts of gender-based sexual harassment or sexual violence being committed that creates a hostile environment, the school must take immediate action to eliminate the same acts, prevent their recurrence, and address their effects. Hindi lang sa alam, dapat nilang malaman or mabatid na meron palang acts of gender-based sexual harassment or sexual violence. We have discussed kanina na online, halimbawa cyberbullying ito or cyber threats. At bakit itong si Pedro na first honor student, biglang bumaba yung grades at hindi na humahabilo sa mga kaklase. Si Maria, ganun din, honor student, hindi na lumalapit sa mga lalaki, dati ng absent or hanggang nag-drop out na. Ang dami pa ibang mga kaklase, no? Hindi lang sa isang classroom at sa iba pa. So the school must know what's happening there na nakaroon na ng hostile environment. So kailangan sila mag-take ng action to eliminate the acts, prevent their occurrence, and address their effects. So prevention pa rin is better than cure, no? So number 4, educate students from the elementary to tertiary level about the provisions of the law and how they can report cases of gender-based violence sa streets, sa public spaces, and online sexual harassment committed against them. So we know from the tender years, kung dito tayo sa elementary, iba yung sa junior high, iba rin yung sa senior high, iba rin dito sa college level. So dapat matimpla-timpla ng DepEd and the Commission on Higher Education kung paano ito maging most effective na ma-identify nila ito at paano nila i-report at paano rin siguro sila matulungan kung maging biktima sila nito GBSH. Ayan, so thank you for being patient and attentive. If you have some questions, you can ask us online during live, or you could also ask us during the replay and in our succeeding episodes of our 18-day campaign to end violence against women. Thank you and good day to all.